What is going on, bros? Go ahead and smash the like button. Got that animation going for you right here at the open. Man, it does not stop. The news does not stop. The charts don't stop. We're going to be covering it all here in the Investing Bros. It is 9 a.m., just a little bit after 9 here, Eastern Standard Time. And the big news is absolutely still what's going to happen with this Ethereum ETF. But there is also a bill being voted on today, and that is likely to cause a bit of volatility in the markets because if it passes the House, it goes on to the Senate and presumably goes on to Biden's desk in the White House. A full passage of this bill could be extremely bullish for crypto. We'll see just how likely it is to pass here in just a few minutes in the news section. And let me just say, things have changed. This bill looks a bit more likely to pass. Could it get across the finish line? Either way, I expect volatility, if not from this House bill, from the ETH spot ETF saga coming to a head. It's been many months, many moons. We've been talking about it. We've had on other folks to talk about it, and here we are, just 24 hours away from the decision. The SEC should be making. I think they made the Bitcoin ETF decision. I think it was around 2:00, somewhere around there. It's kind of midday, so Eastern Standard. So we may expect that decision to be made, and then that's going to be on Thursday. But today's Wednesday with the House bill. So let's go ahead and jump on into the bubbles here. Seeing some correction after the euphoria phase that we had of this bull run reaction from the spot Ethereum ETF, going ahead and getting a much higher rating for passage. So this is the correction. This is the pullback here in a lot of big names. Lido, Beam, down more than 7%, each of those. Gala making back some gains from its pullback. Pendle down 4%. Arbitrum down almost 8%. OP down 9%. Of course, all these Ethereum Layer 2s had a very nice pump. A very nice pump to the upside, and now they're having a little bit of a dump, a little bit of a dumpski to the downside. This is normal market rotation as folks take profit on their gains. Caspa up 3.8%. We might have to take a look at Caspa here on the charts. But before we look at Caspa, let's jump on into the chat, jump on into the charts, look at Bitcoin here. I've got it pulled up on the daily. Just doing a little bit of wider analysis, so it would seem, but we've got a little bit new of a flag pattern starting to formulate here. We did go ahead. I'll go down to a lower time frame here for you, bros. We did go ahead and break to the downside of another pattern I had drawn more closer here, right? But now, I think that we're rocking out in this flag pattern here that could break to the upside, could break to the downside. We shall see. But what I am noticing is that we're coming into the resistance, some potential support, here from the midline of the Bollinger Band. This is the 20-day moving average. There could be some support that's found here, and Bitcoin is just kind of moving sideways, waiting for that support line to come in. It could be that, just waiting, little holding pattern, waiting for some bullish action, some regulatory clarity tomorrow, perhaps. So very, very exciting stuff. Of course, Bitcoin has pushed higher here. Everybody's asking, can Bitcoin get back to all-time highs? We're not too far from those highs that were put in back here in mid-March. Let's see, from live price, that would only take a 5.7% move from this wick high that we got up to just a few days ago. It was only 3% from those all-time highs up there at 73,800. So, bros, tell me, what do you think? Do you think we have what it takes? Do you think these two potentially very bullish events happening today and tomorrow could propel Bitcoin back to all-time highs? Drew XRP said he's waiting for a breakout to the upside. A lot of interesting chatter here. Wake up and sign this, please. Happy Wednesday, all. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, the House is likely to pass it. I think we'll have to take a look at the details and see what you think. Army Piper said, "Good morning, bro. Good morning. Good morning." Joe Nichols said, "I've heard nothing but good news on the ETF front, but haven't put any new powder in." Gotcha. I have. I put in powder on the night that we so it would have been Monday night. I deployed a decent amount. Here we go. Basarak said, "Volatility meaning that things are going down. I'm down for that. Get some cash on the side to pick up some crypto." Absolutely. Absolutely. Big Eric Wallen jumping out saying, "Teesh." Love it. Joe Nichols said, "Good morning, everyone. I've got my render and AGIX bags packed, but about 20% of that lot on the side just in case we happen to get an unexpected NVDA dump and I can buy more lower." Very good plan. Very good plan. Absolutely. Absolutely. We've got NVIDIA's earnings coming out this week as well. So just even more reason for some volatility, especially in the AI cryptos. Make sure that you all are keeping track of that for sure. We want to make sure we're keeping up with that. Let's see. So that is today. That is today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So 5 p.m., make sure that you're tuning in. They have completely walloped the last couple of earnings, beating it by double-digit percentages for the EPS side. So this could be very well a very bullish day for the AI tokens. Is there a one-to-one correlation between NVIDIA's earnings and AI cryptos? Definitely not from a fundamental standpoint, in my opinion. But that kind of doesn't matter because that's not how the market sees it. The market sees AI go up, then AI crypto should go up. So great shout out there. That's very important. Sound could pop on good NVIDIA report, said Kyle Fields. Sound could be potentially I'm not sure if that's a stock or a crypto, but that could be good to look into for sure. Thoughts on Say? Say is pretty good. Very fast. Been reliable so far. A lot of smart people supporting it. Please don't have too much dry powder on the side. 75% minimum should be in. Don't get stuck chasing the pump. So Crux of Crypto bringing you some non-financial advice there. Just his 2 cents. I tend to agree though. I think that if you're not deployed here by like more than the majority of what you have set aside for crypto, that's starting to come into questionable territory. For me, I'm like 80% deployed, and I'm using my income to increase my positions. Yes, I have 20% on the sidelines, but a lot of that is actually because I have wedding expenses. Although now the wedding is pretty much paid for. Thanks, Granny. I've got a little bit of a subsidy there from a special someone in my family. Very nice. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump on into Ethereum's price. Let's check out Ethereum on the chart. I'd say Bitcoin here. Let's look at some of these oscillators before we get into Ethereum on Bitcoin. So I'm still here on Bitcoin. We did get some reversal candy up here on the 4 hour, and then that has likely played out. We'll be watching to see if this what looks like a turnaround is going to come back around and start to signal more bullish momentum. Your money flow has ticked positive there on the 4 hour. That's just nice to see. Out on the weekly, you're seeing, that's what you want to see there for Bitcoin. On the weekly, you're seeing a nice turnaround here. I want to see what the MACD looks like for Bitcoin on the weekly. This is what you want to see, folks. Getting a nice little curvature around here for Bitcoin on the MACD lines, that is bullish. And it's what you'd expect with what Bitcoin's price has done recently, but I haven't cracked open the MACD to really look at this. Waning histograms moving back to the bullish side. We could be seeing our first green histogram here on the MACD weekly chart in the last 4 weeks. So that could be very bullish as it's signaling to investors, hey, Bitcoin's back in business. We're moving to the upside. Get that dry powder deployed, right? Now, you're hearing me, you might be getting overly hyped. Be careful, Definitely risk manage in the way that you have already planned to risk manage, no matter what anybody tells you. Don't deviate from your risk management plan. Let's take a look at this chart really quickly. Yeah, this one's still rocking out real well, even out on the weekly chart. This is Bitcoin to gold, looking really solid. Yeah, let's take a look at it here on the daily chart too. Had a nice breakout and getting a little bit of a breather before the next leg here. This is Bitcoin to gold. All right, let's crack it open. I dropped some fibs on it this morning. This is the Fibonacci extension lines you can see here. We'll look at the momentum oscillators here in a second, but what I noticed is that we rejected right off the golden pocket there for Ethereum. So Ethereum not too far from its all-time highs, but definitely not the same proximity as Bitcoin is to its all-time highs from live price. Ethereum's got to get 32% upside before it's going to be really having a serious go at those all-time highs back up at 48,000. 4,885. So it's got a little ways to go, but that would, once it gets back up into the platinum pocket, I think that's going to be what everybody's talking about as the Ethereum all-time high. For now, Ethereum has to kind of come back to earth, and it's got to realize it hasn't even broken through the golden pocket and printed a week. Well, let's take a look here. Has it printed a weekly candle? Just barely printed a weekly candle here in the golden pocket, but not an entire candle, not the bottom of a candle. T-Shroom, you ask for so much. I do. Let's get off the weekly. Well, while we're here, let's look at the momentum oscillators here on the weekly for Ethereum. We've got a nice jerking to the upside pattern here on the Lux Algo oscillator matrix. So that is really, really good. Seeing a nice move up and some reversal candy, green curse reversal candy. That's good. On the MACD, we're seeing something similar to Bitcoin, very similar, with a nice curvature here in those MACD lines saying, hey, we're going back the other way now. We have tested lower, and then also your histograms are coming back favorably with the deceleration. Very, very nice. Very nice. So, does it get better than this? I mean, this looks bullish, right? We've got a higher low here. And we're having fun. I love it. Drew P said, without Bollinger Bands, how can we know? Piper said, Bollinger Bands has issued a BTC pullback. Yeah, I saw that. So the creator of the Bollinger Bands has issued a pullback. I took a look at that. It looked a little bit more complicated than I could get my head around for this show. But yeah, I mean, generally, he's probably right. I mean, he created Bollinger Bands, which is one of my favorite indicators. Almost as favorite as Lux Algo, which, by the way, you guys can get access to. You can see right here. Wow, it's actually really hard to point to that. Right here. Oh, it's not even there on the full screen one. Goodness.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
You guys can get access to Lux Algo in the description of this video. You can get access to oscillators like this, which show you kind of the momentum here of the price that's trading. And there's a lot more on this screen that you may not know about and how to use, but it is extremely helpful. I think we got like 5 signups yesterday of people going ahead and signing up for Lux Algo. It also gives you, I'm on the weekly chart, but it also gives you kind of some ideas of when to buy and when to sell, which is cool. You definitely want to use that with confluence of other indicators, and some of those can be from Lux Algo. But there's a lot to gain here from Lux Algo. We love using it. Tim loves it. And when you sign up for Lux Algo, you actually get free access to our VIP trading channel on Discord. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, this seems to be the battleground here, is this golden pocket here for Ethereum as it's making its way back to the upside with this spot ETF news. We're going to get into the news here in just a second. We're about halfway through the show. And you can see that another major line of support here that I'm watching is also 3,641. Right? I'm not saying this is the end-all, be-all line of support, but a breakdown below that, wouldn't be the best for now. I don't see it getting below that until tomorrow when we get the decision from the SEC. There might be some volatility just as the jitters come in, people wanting to sell the event. That could take place. But I'm thinking this is a pretty good line of support. And then below that, on the 4 hour at least, would probably be back around here in the midline, around 3,400. Jumping back out to the daily, you can see that, man, it is very bullish. Ethereum is trading, printed an entire candle outside of the top band of the Bollinger Band. So it's hard to overstate just how bullish Ethereum has been as a result of Bloomberg adjusting their prediction for the Ethereum spot ETF being approved. There we go. Big Caleb jumping in. Good morning, Caleb. So GM fam, excited to see you all in the show this afternoon. Absolutely. So Caleb is going to be joining us for the 3 p.m. show. We should have the results from the House vote. In fact, let's just go ahead and jump on into the news here. And just as a reminder, today's episode is brought to you all by iTrustCapital. iTrust is who we trust for our tax advantage crypto IRA plan. So go ahead and click the link in the description for a free $100 when you sign up and fund an iTrust account. It is a lot of fun and definitely gets you on the road to prosperity. All right, let's check it out here. So this is Gensler's position on the bill. SEC Gensler says House bill would undermine regulators' crypto capital market oversight. If you guys want to go do some further reading, the name of the bill is Fit 21. It sounds like some kind of gym in a big city. Fit 21. But here's what he had to say, and this quotation is brought to you here from the SEC.gov website. He had a lot to say. Yeah, look at this though. He cites his sources really well, or one of his aides. He's got a lot of different. He's citing Chainalysis. He's citing Coinbase. Very cool. Very cool. Maybe one day he'll cite the investing bros. Statement on the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act. FIT. Financial Innovation Technology 21st Century. FIT 21. Come on down to FIT 21 and get those calves in tip-top shape for this summer. Okay, T-Shrum, enough with the joking. The Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st, let's pause this. There we go. The Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, FIT, would create new regulatory gaps and undermine decades of precedent regarding the oversight of investment contracts, putting investors and capital markets at immeasurable risk, he said. So this is Gary Gensler's comments on the FIT 21 Act, but it doesn't stop there. FIT 21 is a joint bill produced by House Agriculture Committee and House Financial Services Committee and is intended to clarify how the SEC and Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC, oversee crypto. It creates a digital commodity term for digital assets that do not meet the bill's definition of a security, placing those assets under the CFTC's purview. So this one is actually different from the other bill that we reported on yesterday, which would put it under the Department of Commerce. The Department of Commerce. But this digital commodity terminology is very similar to the legislation that they passed in Taiwan and how their financial regulators see crypto as it's not a commodity, it's not a security, it's not a stock, it's not a bond, it's a digital commodity, right? Digital commodity, it's its own classification. And should be, in my opinion. I think that's probably the best way is to give it its own classification and maybe even its own regulatory body. But putting it under the CFTC is better than the SEC, I would say. The bill would remove investment contracts that are recorded on a blockchain form, the statutory definition of securities, and the time-tested protections of the federal securities laws, he says. By removing this set of investment contracts from the statutory list of securities, the bill implies that courts have repeatedly what the courts have repeatedly ruled, but what crypto market participants have attempted to deny, that many crypto assets are being offered and sold as securities under existing law. So Gary is sticking to his guns, insisting that these cryptos are securities and they should be under the purview of the SEC. Well, today, the House goes to vote on this. The House of Representatives is expected to vote on the bill later on Wednesday, though it does not currently have a clear road through the Senate and is unlikely to become law this year. So CoinDesk splashing some dose of reality there. But that was written earlier than this story came out, which is very interesting. Nancy Pelosi's potential support for crypto bill. Big news ahead. Clearing up a regulatory jurisdiction between the SEC and FTC is the goal of FIT 21. Nancy Pelosi might change the way cryptocurrencies are regulated in the U.S. It could come down to Nancy, because it looks like she's kind of changing sides here. Speaker Emerita and out of the Democratic Party leadership, Pelosi might back the FIT 21 plan, which the House may vote on as early as May 22nd, today. U.S. Political Magazine and American Prospect reports that sources familiar with Pelosi's views have hinted at her potential support. Nancy Pelosi may support the Republican industry-backed crypto bill hitting the House floor this week in defiance of senior Democrats on the relevant committees. Of course, Maxine Waters, I believe, is the leader of the Democrats in the House, and there's some others as well who've... yesterday we learned that they would not whip the Democrats against this bill, meaning they themselves would take a position. The senior Democrats, Maxine Waters and David Scott, would take a position against the bill, but they would not whip their constituents into voting. And it kind of sounds like what it is, right? It means that they're not going to apply potential consequences to Democrats who would vote for it, which is kind of a path forward for it being passed. Even with the rising support, financial reform organizations and anti-crypto Democrats contend that F21 will undo decades of financial laws in order to help the cryptocurrency sector. Hayes remarks that this is not so much a drive to encourage cryptocurrency as it is to navigate super PAC committees. All right, so it's getting a little bit more political and murky there, so we'll rage quit out of that article. But bros, let me know. What do you think? Do you think that FIT 21 passes with Pelosi's support? FD White jumping in here said she found a way to make money in crypto. She's all in for it. That was exactly my thoughts, and we got to it in the first comment that I read here. I love it. Thanks, FD White. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. FD White has been on a global tour of the world. Got to take his family out to a lot of different countries. I think the last I checked in, he was in Kuala Lumpur, kicking around, having some fun. And that is the kind of things that you can do once you become wealthy off crypto. So good for you, FD White. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. Gotta love it. Let's see. Drew P said Nancy must have bought a few million worth of crypto. Yeah, I think that's what we're all kind of thinking here. Mark Lane said all eyes on Render right now with NVIDIA earnings today. Render is gonna rip. So that's what Mark Lane thinks. That's absolutely possible because we do get those NVIDIA earnings today at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Crux of Crypto saying GM Bros. Getting that GM Bros in. You got to love it. Crypto Mini Bike, not too far behind, said, good morning, everyone. And, of course, B-Ball Golf, dunking on it, said, never saw an inside trade she didn't like. And Caleb Franson said, SECD's nuts. Very, very good there, Caleb. We appreciate what you bring to the table. Caleb getting a shout out here from French Toaster said, Mr. Franzen, dabbing it up. All right, well, the bullish news doesn't stop there. Of course, we don't know how the House is going to vote. And even if it gets past the House, that would be good signal, right, to the country that the SEC sucks and that crypto is a thing and it's moving forward and it needs to be properly regulated and hopefully not by the SEC. Right? If it gets past the House, you do get all that signal, which is generally more bullish for regulatory clarity. I don't know how that's going to translate into price necessarily. There could potentially be some folks who buy just based on that vote. But I think more than likely it's just kind of a signal. When it starts to get passed by the Senate, that's when it becomes a real deal in my mind, because then it puts pressure on the White House, who wants to appear very popular and copacetic in the campaign, the current 2024 presidential campaign, and may not be inclined to veto anything that comes across his desk, with fear that may damage support that he might otherwise have gotten. So that could potentially be very bullish. We'll get that story to you at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, how the House votes. And if they wait too long and they vote after, then we will absolutely be tweeting it out and talking about it in the Discord. And it is Wednesday, my dudes. So today we have bro time directly after the 3 p.m. stream. It will be myself, and Tim may be able to call in as well. We shall see. FD White saying, thanks, bro. Absolutely. Just a little info here on the Investing Bros. If you put any profanity in your chats, I won't read them. You can, and you say whatever you want, but if you have any profanity, you're just not going to read them. So don't think that I don't love you, because I still love you for sure. But if you just got profanity, that's why it won't get read. Well, the bullishness doesn't stop here. Wisdom Tree gets green light to list Bitcoin, Ethereum, ETPs on London Stock Exchange. Very, very bullish here. Of course, these are famously only going to be for the professional investors. The ETPs will be available only to professional investors and carry fees of 35 basis points. So what does that mean? That's a 3.5% fee. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but that sounds high and unattractive, I must say. But this is cool. I mean, this is generally, adoption expansion. I don't know that I expect this to really be huge and earth-shattering. I don't know how many UK institutions are sitting there, licking their chops, wanting to buy crypto-exposed assets. Perhaps there's a decent amount, though. I mean, we've seen some pretty good inflows from Hong Kong. I think we may see a similar outcome here. But my guess is that this is going to not be all that. It'll be not a sell the news, but it's going to be, the hype is going to probably outshine the actual event. But that's my humble opinion, and I would love to be wrong on that. Would absolutely love to be wrong on that. And then we got a big move yesterday in continuation of the Ethereum spot ETF saga here back in the U.S. Van Eyck spot Ethereum ETF has been listed on the DTCC under ticker ETHV. So what does this mean? Well, we learned in the Bitcoin spot ETF passage saga that this doesn't mean a whole lot. It does generally signal positive momentum that these ETFs are being properly integrated into the system and getting ready to go live. However, I think we also saw that there were ETFs that were brought off this list. And of course, that spooked the market when that happened. But ultimately, this list is just an intermediary list. It doesn't really mean anything more than just it's on a list now. It's on a list of a major institution that tracks these new ETFs. So I wouldn't read too much into this one, but it is generally bullish. It's generally moving in the bullish direction, kind of signaling continued positive momentum. And if that wasn't enough for you, bros, okay. We've got the biggest crypto headline of all time. Just in, Donald Trump's presidential campaign officially accepts Bitcoin and crypto. And you gotta take a look at this. Look at the coins that are on this list. You've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Solana, Cardano, Dogecoin. I think that's XRP. Yeah, that looks like XRP, USDC, Shiba Inu, and AVAX. And then you've got some other ones up here as well. I want to say that's XDC. And then I can't identify this one. It's really, really small. You may not be able to see it because it's so zoomed in. But if you go to the website, I don't know what this coin is, but there's a lot of different coins that are being accepted here by the Trump campaign. So very interesting. Now it's just only a matter of moments before the RFK campaign is accepting Bored Ape Yacht Club's NFTs. So it's just another day here in Crypto Paradise, bros, as we watch these prices go up and to the right. We are seeing a little bit of a correction today, and I would expect to see continued temporary price to the downside as the market tries to find its footing in right now the market's in the clouds. It's like, whoa, we just jumped super high. What do we do? Well, you got to come back and find a good solid area to plant and to move higher. My line that I've got drawn here is at 3,600. Perhaps you've got other lines drawn, but I think this is a pretty good line. So You do with that information what you will. But we're clearly getting resistance here from the golden pocket, the 0.618, and that comes in at 3,800. So be careful going too long here today. If we do come back up, that could potentially be more resistance, and be careful shorting around here because this could be potential support where we do spring back up. I continue to expect just general consolidation into the decision on Thursday, but the vote today could potentially create some volatility to the upside or the downside. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of this video. Things have been a little bit crazy. I'm hearing a lot of other folks here in the crypto, YouTube, and Twitter space say that they feel like they're getting their content suppressed. They're not getting the views that usually they get. So make sure you do us a huge favor here and smash the like button even more than you usually would, not just on our channel, but on all the channels that you're going to watch today, all the tweets that you see. Smash the like button and tell big tech, hey, just because you want to suppress crypto and buy lower doesn't mean that I don't want to hear from my favorite influencer. And that's exactly what's going to happen. If we continue to be suppressed, then we can't get the word out, and you may risk not catching an episode, and that would be the biggest shame ever. So make sure you smash the like button. All of those worries can be soothed. They can be cured with the simple click of the like button. And if you're watching for the first time and you're like, this T-Shroom guy is not just handsome and smart, but he's a little bit funny too, go ahead and smash the subscribe button if you're interested in those kind of shenanigans on a daily basis. We love to have fun here. We love to get into the news that matters for your crypto portfolio. We've got a bill vote today in the House of the U.S. Congress, and we've got a big day tomorrow where the SEC all gangs up on crypto and tries to body slam it, but then accidentally votes yes on the Ethereum ETF passage. We'll see. It's what happened last time, and maybe it'll happen again. Man, I do still have a bet going with Tim that Gary Gensler will not be in office to vote for this ETF, spot ETF for Ethereum, that he will actually be fired before that. So we only have a few hours before Tim is proven right in that bet, and we will absolutely be casting how he delivers on that. He's down here in Florida. So he may have to travel over to Gainesville for me to pay for his delicious steak. We'll see. But absolutely, have a great rest of your day, bros. We'll see you. Joined by Caleb Franzen at 3. If you're human, stay hydrated. If you're trading, keep those stop losses tight. See you at 3, bros.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.